Here we go. Here we go. Kamala Harris. You know, it's starting to seem like the Democratic Party is all colluding to gain people's votes. I really don't think that they're looking for people that really want to help us. I really don't think they do. I really don't think they do. You know, to be honest, I don't care if she's black or not. I really don't care. Right? But we do need people that are willing to work for the people and not steal our rights and put us in prison. Like, is that too much to ask for? Is that too much to ask for? Listen, we don't want to go to jail. We don't want to go to prison. We want good education, good schooling, and we don't want you to provide it, the government. We want to provide what we think our children should learn. We gave y'all a chance. We gave you 100 years. Now this new generation is here to throw you the hell off.
Indian American to
California's Kamala Harris is the first Indian American U.S. Senator.
And California's Attorney General Kamala Harris has scripted history as she won the U.S. Senate seat from the state, becoming the first Indian American to achieve this feat.
Certainly, you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
She's not embracing her father. Oh, because, there's black people in the Senate, so let's care about the Indian people in the Senate, right? No, we should care about who's doing the real work. That's it.
I quit.
Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. Do you solemnly swear to support and
Here's
defend the
another thing, like, she was going so hard at this guy.
Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you're about to enter, to help you God. You got some family out here?
Thank you. Come on, family. I got quite a crew.
Well, great to see you. Do you guys know what they... Oh, I'm sorry.
And then extended families, if you don't.
Oh, no.
Okay, come on, everybody. Crew. Come on, extended family.
She's in love with this guy. Look how she's in love with this guy. Do we need people like that? Do we need people like that? That's a real question, man.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system.
Remember, Kamala Harris was calling Joe Biden a racist for making her not get on the bus to go to school with white people.
That is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations.
And she's in a state where it's legal. And I don't think people should be getting locked up for marijuana. I just don't. I think it should be regulated by the people of that state, but not by the federal government. Like, who died and left them in charge?
And then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
You see what I'm saying? Like, these people have this entitlement, like, I'm not one of you peasants. Right? I'm not one of you peasants. I can move and do whatever I want, and then I'm gonna bust your ass if you try to do what I'm doing.
She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
And look how she can't even respond. She don't even respond good. Because she's guilty.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders.
These people will lie till the ship is sunk. I didn't do nothing. I have nothing to do with that. I didn't uphold that. I
and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in.
Why wasn't you fighting for that for the last 10 years? Why would you help put more black people in jail? If you're Jamaican and you're not tied more to your Indian side, come on, man.
And your response,
The bottom line is...
Listen, I don't care about what race you are or color, man. Do what's right for the people, according to the cornerstone of this place.
Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not, and worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that, and the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty.
Fuck out of here, bitch. You always doing something crazy, and then you want somebody to take your side. Psych, not happening. Let's look at this one. This is because Joe Biden is a savage. I mean, Trump is a savage at this shit, bro.
Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. And other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind.
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
This is literally the stuff that he was saying. They didn't have to twist it. They didn't have to manipulate it. They just posted it.
As the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean, and nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
That's a storybook, man. And you know they said about Obama, they said that guy from the Matrix movie, from Superman, he's everywhere Lawrence Fishburne is. He's the one that trained Obama to act black.
Here you talk about the reputation of two United States senators who built their reputation and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Are you going to apologize like Cory Booker has?
Apologize for what? For what? For what?
So that's Joe Biden. Let's get a little more Kamala Harris. A little more, because I want people to really understand.
Kamala Harris ran for president by rushing to the radical left, embracing Bernie. plan for socialized medicine, calling for trillions in new taxes, attacking Joe Biden for racist policies. Voters rejected Harris. They smartly spotted a phony. But not Joe Biden. He's not that smart. Biden calls himself a transition candidate. He is handing over the reins to Kamala while they jointly embrace the radical left. Slow Joe and phony Kamala. Perfect together. Wrong for America. Kamala Harris ran for president by rushing to the radical left.
These people know who they are, bro. These people know who they are. You know? She knows who she is. She knows where she came from. She knows that it's a bigger mission and it's outside of her. She got to do what they tell her to do. And why is it always the same type of people trying to run this country? We can't allow that. You can't allow that. See, June 15th, Ukraine intercepts 6 million bribe to stop investigation into Burisma founder. I think I read this before. Because I know they're investigating him now. You know. And these are the people that that the Democrats want in place to control the country. And he said he's gonna put us back in chains. Yeah, I was gonna sell some shit. According to the plan, Ukraine would announce a blockbuster investigation of Joe Biden. Whether there was any evidence of wrongdoing mattered as little as the substance of the Hillary Clinton email management practices. Hunter Biden and Burisma. Like, if this was, Trump, this would be everywhere. And it shows the clear bias. Of InfoWars. I don't care. Alex Jones goes hard, bro. Let me see if I get something else first, though. Before I read that. Why is it only the secular? The Guardian. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has said that leaked recordings of phone calls allegedly between Joe Biden and former President Petro Poroshenko would be investigated by the country's law enforcement agencies. So this is confirming this. But Alex Jones gonna put the real deal, because they don't want him talking. Biden, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, has been formally listed in a criminal case for the crime of firing Ukraine's former prosecutor, General Viktor Shokin, in exchange for the dropping an investigation into his son, Hunter, who was a board member at Burisma from 2017 to 2019. Shokin formally called for an investigation into his firing back in It's February 2020. All right, let's go get Joe Biden. People steady saying he didn't say this shit.
Margaret Warner, I see you with the microphone.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Vice
Hey,
President.
Margaret, good to see you.
My question is, should we actually be going on offense in the information war, in the cyber war, in terms of delegitimizing?
And most of what happens in the cyberspace is all.
If the Obama administration had a mulligan, should it have done more?
Well, the answer to that question is I'm not sure. I think we made the right choice. Let me explain what I mean. This was a moving target. What we were originally told, the next point we went, the gang of 12 were called again.
I'm looking for that video, man. Just that part. Just that part.
There is a huge fundraising deadline coming up for.
You know, we had to take these more seriously.
Issue on the floor before I get another question or two, which is Ukraine. This administration, unlike the administration you worked in, decided to provide limited defense articles to Ukraine. Do you think that was a wise decision? And more broadly, do you see any scope for any sort of a deal on eastern Ukraine?
The answer is yes, I think it was a wise decision. But then again, I was pushing that for 2 years before we left. So, and the reason is I think the more you up the ante, the cost to Russia for their aggression. I mean, as you all know, and you know this better than anybody, you know, the one big lie going on about Ukraine back in the rest of Russia is that no Russian soldiers are engaged, they're not dying, no body bags are coming home, etc., because there's overwhelming opposition on the part of the body politic in Russia for engagement in Ukraine in a military sense. Do I think I think the Donbass has potential to be able to be solved, but it takes two things. One of those things is missing now, and that is I'm desperately concerned about the backsliding on the part of Kyiv in terms of corruption. They made, I mean, I'll give you one concrete example. I was, not but it just happened to be that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones. So I got Ukraine. And I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor.
So there he goes, doing the same thing that they said Trump was doing. I mean, come on, man. You know. You know, these people get away with all types of stuff, you know, and we have to allow them to do it. No, I'm not allowing nobody. We can't allow people to continue to destroy our nation and they expect us to live comfortable. That's what people expect. They can do whatever they want, and we have to follow what they say because they know best. They know all. How? These people are criminals, and you can see it's always the same names popping up. They all have links and connections to each other. They all got connections. So if you want to pick Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, be my guest, man. Be my guest. These people are no good. And that's a fact. Alright, man. I'm going to leave y'all with that. I appreciate y'all watching. Peace.